We appreciate you guys tuning in, but we know why you're here because 71% of y'all say y'all are here for the Canon hype. So, Jarrell, let's hop into it because look, this is the image that we got that blew my brain.
Yes.
Because I wasn't ready. They like Canon had just dropped that little teaser with the Pelican case and the R1 envelope, and I was like, okay, cool. They're pushing hard for the R1, but turns out now we're actually going to be looking at whatever the heck this thing is.
You know what's crazy? The first time that I saw this image, I was like, that's not the R5 Mark II. That's not the R1.
That's right.
This is one of the 6 cameras.
6?
6 cameras.
Wait, hold on. So you're talking like that Canon has registered right now.
So, and I don't know the technical terms.
Okay.
But Canon has registered 6 model numbers.
6 model numbers. Oh, look,
we got another
sub.
Look at that.
And a super chat came in. I'm not really sure how that worked. Let's see. But yeah, super chat came in, so shout out, appreciate it. Oh, but yeah, dude, that's gonna get annoying. We gotta turn that off.
No, we'll turn it off after 150,000.
Okay, 150,000, we'll turn it off.
So, anyways, they registered 6 model numbers for Canon cameras.
Okay.
Now, do they plan on replacing the entire lineup at 6 cameras dropping this year?
If all 6 drop right now, I personally...
Are you going to drop your... are you going to sell your stocks?
Am I going to sell my stock
if they drop
6 cameras?
I mean, I'm not going to drop any names, but if they drop 6 cameras, are you selling your stock?
No, I think right now... I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't know. Like, I'm looking at what Canon is saying that they're going to release this year, and it is... currently blowing my mind that they could, one, decide to drop 6 cameras in a year, especially because they've been quiet for so long.
And it's Canon.
So it's like, you know, when Canon does release cameras, like we got the R8, which was like an amazing full frame camera, right? Mm-hmm. But then they also gave us like the R10, which was just like this, like, you know, small mirrorless, like, just very, very basic beginner camera. Oh, look, that's a super chat.
It did come through.
Boom. What's up? So it takes a little bit of delay on that. But no, I think for me, it really starting to come down to like, what are these cameras going to be? Mm-hmm. Because they could be all over the spectrum. Yes. I mean, let's face it, like they could give us their big daddy camera. What's it? The C700.
Yeah.
So that could be one of the registered cameras that actually came through. So like,
don't do it, Canon.
Yeah,
ain't nobody want that.
But I, for me, I'm not selling anything. But there's just so much that's coming out that I just want to hold. I want to hold my thoughts back a little bit.
Yeah,
because Canon's doing way more than I thought they would.
I don't want to hold my thoughts back. I want to go. So when I saw this picture,
yeah,
at first thought was C70 Mark II, but it's so interesting. Because this isn't the only photo that they dropped, right, Brandon? They dropped 2 photos.
They did, and I'm really confused about the second photo because it doesn't necessarily look like it doesn't look like this camera.
Yes,
but it also has the cinema badge on it.
Yes,
so it's letting me feel like maybe here's my philosophy. You had the C500 that was a big camera, the C300 that was a big camera, and then they came out with the C70, which I think sold better than those other 2 cameras just because of, you know, it officially had the RF mount, it's more affordable, around $6,000 ish, like it built in NDs, great. I would not be surprised if they dropped their new lineup of cinema cameras and they hit all 3 of those markers, but at the same time. So you get a 500, a 300, and I don't know if I necessarily want a C70 Mark II because I think I would prefer that camera to be full frame if I'm in the Canon world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like they might be holding full frame for 300 to 500 to maybe protect those 2 lineups. And then you have your Super 35 C70 Mark II.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts. I think EF is dead.
Okay.
I think it's dead.
I agree.
I think that they more than likely guessing they're not going to develop any more cameras with the EF mount. I think RF is here to stay forever. So for me, I do think there will be a C70 Mark II to keep it at that crop sort of deal. But I feel like, to me, it's going to be the C300 replacement.
What do you think is going to be the C300 replacement?
The C70 Mark II will be the C300 replacement.
But what about that price point?
So we're in the future now. And so there's like a piece where they've maybe realized, I don't know if people want a $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 camera.
Okay.
If we can maybe bring it down to that 6-7 and sell a ton.
Yeah.
Now, a C90, okay, which would be the C500 Mark II.
Okay.
And maybe that's in that 10 to 12 range. And this is just me being hopeful because I don't want things that cost $1 billion.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know if like, I mean, you tell me, but like, I feel like these cameras very easily could be priced in a way where like, yes, like there was a 300 and a 500, which were like $10,000+ cameras, and then you release a C70. But I feel like there were still needs that those cameras fulfilled. It's not just a price point thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I do feel like, to be fair, Canon can't make every camera for me. They have to make some for the consumer. They have to make some for the prosumer. They've got to make some for the professionals, like Hollywood, stuff like that. So, like, I'm okay with them making a C700 for Hollywood that I may never touch.
As long as you get your camera first.
Well, it's not even, well, I mean, they're dropping 6, so I'm good. Yeah, they're dropping.
Something will work for you.
Yeah, something will work for me. So, yeah, I do think that we will see a C70, a C90, and I don't even know where you go from there.
Well, we've got a few comments that have been coming through. So let's go ahead and let's run to the comments real quick and see what you guys are saying, because I agree with some of the stuff I'm seeing in the comment section right now. I mean, Marcus had even said that, like, what about a C400? Which I was like, that could work. I mean, a C400, I mean, I think the model numbering thing is where we as like consumers kind of miss the mark, I guess, a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think what they are looking at, because at the end of the day, let's be real, like this is a freaking like business for them.
Oh yeah.
It's just comes down to money.
Yeah.
Like who are we?
But don't get confusing like Sony numbering system.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That would be difficult. Let's pull up this one. I'll have you check out this super chat.
Check out this new Canon camera. It has unsurprisingly uninspiring features, only lenses you can get at f11 at the fastest aperture, and they cost $5,000. I don't speak that language. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to comprehend.
I think he's just poking fun at you.
I'm trying to, but it's hard. It's hard to understand what you're saying.
Now, here's one. We got one from Mr. David Altizer, who was on the show last week. He says a full frame C70 with a better screen and SDI. Now,
I'm here for it.
I think for me, a full frame C70 with SDI and a really good screen is kind of like, it does solve all the problems I think I had with the C70. Now, granted, the problem I had with the C70 wasn't the C70's fault. I got a Komodo first, and then I picked up the C70 as like a little bit more of a workhorse type camera.
Yeah.
And the image, it just kind of threw me off a bit.
Yeah.
But that said,
C70 is a little soft.
It's a little soft.
A little soft.
A little soft. So I think
as a C70 owner, a little soft.
I think what they could do is, obviously when they throw a full frame sensor in there, definitely, obviously, it'll be upgraded. So I don't think we'll have that problem, because we haven't had that problem with cameras since that camera has come out. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll be okay. SDI for me has quickly become a like non-negotiable. Like, I love having SDI because it works. It's such a better tool for me, at least in my productions. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you can always just use like an SDI to HDMI adapter if you needed that. But no, I think I'm with Dave here.
There's a piece to me, though, where I'm going to have to disagree. I don't think that they'll call it a C70. I don't think that we have in Canon's naming scheme where they've ever took a Super 35 sensor and gone full frame and it was a Mark II. So that's just me. I think it's going to be a C90 if it's it changed C80, C99, like whatever. But I don't know that it would be a C70. I haven't seen that jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a model number that stays the same model, but like you don't, like the sensor goes from being cropped to full frame. Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, Kofi here, he's coming in with a super chat, so thank you, Kofi. And pretty much what he's saying is that like with everything coming up from the World Cup to the Olympics, NFL broadcasts, Disney got stuff coming on, like I feel like we're about to see drops like none other. Like, this just feels like a big broadcast year. You know what I mean? Like, so much is currently happening, like, just in the world of sports and just live productions. And, like, obviously, everybody is coming back from everything being locked down and, you know, having to deal with that. That this just feels like a very big broadcast year, a big content year around a lot of live events. So, like, do you think this trend that we see from Canon dropping 6 cameras... Do you think this is a trend that, like, Canon's being very loud about it, but, like, Panasonic might have a little something coming. Sony is like, hey, hold my beer. Like, I got some stuff for you, too. Yeah. Like, do you think this is about to be, like, the year of the drop? Like, is this the year where we are so overwhelmed with the amount of cameras that come out that, like, literally content creators, YouTubers, bloggers, like, we just can't keep up? It just becomes, like... all right, we just got to pick which ones we're going to do and just let the rest go.
So we were talking about this a little bit before the live stream, and you heard it here first. I think that Canon will return back to being king of the mountain. And here's the deal. I think that's a great thing for everyone, even if you're a Sony or Panasonic or Fuji or like whatever. And the reason why I think that is... if Canon stomps everybody in the mouth this year, which I think that they will, we're going to get back to the days of Sony innovation. We're going to get back to the days of everybody's trying to catch back up. And so I'm excited not for Canon to reign. I'm excited for hopefully Canon has taken these last 4 years to put in everything that sets them so far ahead that now everyone isn't just releasing the same sensor in a new body. You know who you are, Sony.
Okay, so I agree, but I think you're missing that people are already making these moves. So, like, for example, I don't think that Canon is going to stomp anybody in the mouth. Like, I just don't. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that they are going to release some really much-needed, very late cameras to the game, right?
Fair.
And I think that the problem that they're going to have is, like, they are late, which means everyone is going to be able to
pull up
piggyback
that comment.
off. What?
Pull up that comment.
Which one?
It's,
Marcus's?
No. STM Films.
Oh, where is he? At the bottom?
At the bottom. Yeah.
Where are we at?
Where's he at?
There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Read it. No, you read it.
Yeah, I got you.
You get it.
Canon is like the Lakers cinema. When the Lakers are good, the league is good. Keep going.
What? Okay, that's a very tough one for me as a Lakers fan.
he's tied Canon with his beloved team.
I don't like that you did that. That was unnecessary. But I'm like old school Lakers fan. Kobe era. I'm not really been
LeBron hater.
I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm just I'm not a LeBron sympathizer. But I do think that Canon, they definitely need to compete. Because I will agree with you when you say that, like, Sony feels like they have been a little bit on the, like, they haven't quite had to innovate quite as hard lately. Like, they can take old sensors and throw them in a new body after new body. Like, oh, you like this sensor? Great. Here's one for the filmmakers. Here's one for the content creators. Here's one for the everyday Joe. And it's the same camera across the board. And, like, the upgrade is something as simple as, oh, now we have AI autofocus, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do think that there needs to be competition. This is one of the reasons why, like, it hurts me so bad that GoPro failed so miserably at the drone game, because they unfortunately showed everyone, hey, you can't compete with DJI. DJI just got it. But I don't know if DJI has like truly innovated in the drone space in a long time. So you need that competition. And if Canon is who brings it right now, I think that's fine. But I don't think that they're just crushing it, because
They haven't released anything yet.
They haven't, but yet everybody is acting like they have.
Oh, yeah, we're here for it.
Yeah, and even Mr. Camera Junkie brings in, don't forget red icon. Like, don't forget the red icon. Like, that's a thing.